It takes about 21 days to cement a habit. And of course, as we've been discussing our bad habits tonight that we've found under lockdown, there's a lot of changing consumer behaviour and culture shifts that will have, of course, cemented over lockdown. You know, the trend of things like nude food with minimal packaging on our food was quite trendy 3 months ago. But now, of course, without packaging and our consumers feeling quite reserved around things like food safety, is it coming at the expense of the environment? Our next guest believes we should stay the course on environmental issues like greenhouse gas mitigation, improving freshwater quality, to be outstanding in the world and the new world. So Ian Proudfoot joins us now. Ian, thank you for joining us. Ian, can you hear me?
I am, yeah. Remuera's coverage is not that great.
Whereabouts are you calling us from, just so we get a bit of a picture?
Remuera Road.
Oh, okay. So what's up with the internet in Remuera?
I don't know. We live in a black spot, according to Spark.
Yes, sure. No, completely understand. That's okay. We'll let you away with it. So as I was saying, Ian, as you just blacked out on us a little bit there, can you please outline your key messages from last week's Agri-Tech NZ webinar?
Yes, so I suppose what we were saying is, the reality is we're looking at a food system where we've got a load of customers around the world whose circumstances have fundamentally changed. They've either had to come to terms with thinking about the world through a very different lens, having sat in isolation for a number of months or weeks, or they're thinking about a system that's evolving in terms of the safety of the food they're thinking about, or how they interact with other people in society. So, and a lot of them have significantly less wealth. So I suppose what we're saying to food producers in New Zealand is think very carefully about how you're going to sell your products to your customers in future, because probably what those customers want is quite different to what they might have wanted 6 weeks ago.
We were talking earlier about food protectionism. I didn't actually get a chance to ask Mike Peterson about that from his previous role. But there's the rise in buy local and of course patch protection from, of course, our very established trade deals. How are we positioned to make sure that people still want to choose New Zealand when the patriotism rises so strongly in their own domestic markets to buy local?
I think there's no question that trend towards localization is going to ramp up. The protectionism is going to become more and more significant. So where I'm sitting at the moment, New Zealand needs to be closer to our customers than ever. However, we've got to come to terms of how do we get close to customers when for the next 18 months, we're going nowhere. We're stuck in this country, unable to travel. So we need the government, who already has physical positions around the world, to really lift the game in terms of how it sells New Zealand to customers. We've got to think about how we deploy technology and create immersive experiences for people so they can experience New Zealand without coming here, which is likely to be the case for the next 2 years. And, ramp up how we tell our story. So that does bring us back to how good we are on the environment. That becomes really, really important if we're going to differentiate ourselves.
One thing that we don't talk a lot about, we talk a lot about our unique environment here in New Zealand, but it's the health benefits of our products. And in particular, as the global consumer is going to want to seek products that can boost their immunity, we're not telling that health story well enough, do you think?
I think we've got to invest a lot more in it. We only sell about one product around the world which has got clearly proven health benefits, and that's the green kiwi fruit. Everything else, we've done some work, but we haven't done all the work to be able to tell a true health story. You think about a consumer now sitting anywhere around the world, they're thinking, how do I boost my immunity? I don't want that contagion. I want to keep myself and my family healthy. They're going to pay a premium for products that say, we can help you not just combat COVID-19, but combat any disease that could leave your family at risk. So I think we're going to see quite a shift towards people making conscious health decisions, and immunity boosting is probably going to be close to the top of the list for many consumers.
I'd have to argue there is a lot of proven venison benefits, velvet, manuka, honey, lamb. There is quite a lot as well to add to that.
Yeah, but those products have done some of the work, but actually, getting the tick from the John Hopkins or
Sure.
the credible international universities that costs a lot of money. There's not many that have yet jumped over all those hurdles in every possible language in every possible country. And that's what we need to do now really quickly.
Hey, just to ramp up before we go across to our next guest, this ties in very nicely. You were saying in your presentation that border controls constrain, of course, immigration, and we have to learn how to adapt with our seasonal labour supplies as well.
Yeah, so I think the RSE system is going to be very challenging for the next 1 or 2 years. We're not going to have the influx of students that have come into work as fruit pickers or pick the grapes. Plus, we've got to work out how we deploy all these New Zealanders that have lost jobs and give them great opportunities so they become part of our world leading primary sector. And, that this primary sector drives the economy forward. It is our one track that we've got to recovery in this country quickly.
Thank you so much for taking the time to join us, Ian Proudfoot, the Head of Global Agribusiness at KPMG.
This is Sarah's Country.